Yes, I've been in the exhibition business for 30 years. I've had my own business now for the last 20 years called Single Market Events, and we specialise in creating our own exhibitions. So we will come up with an idea for an exhibition and we'll research it, and then we will fund it and then try and make it and launch it. That's what we do. I think to make sure that it's got a point of difference in the marketplace, because wherever you go into a new market today, it's got to be different from anything else. It has to stand alone. A bit like if you're opening a new shop in the high street, it's got to be different from the other shops and have a point of difference. So we always look at how we can make it have a point of difference, and also sometimes whether we can take it around the world, because our business is a global business now. We have an office in Hong Kong, we have an office in Australia, so we want to try and see maybe we could take the same idea to other territories. You want to try and limit the risk, so by the time you launch the event, you have a fairly good feel that you're going to get lift off, that people are going to buy it. But it's very easy to convince yourself that an idea could work. It's easy to, yeah, that's a good idea, and everyone around you says it's a really good idea, we should do it. Yes, it's all good, and this, that, and other. It's very easy to do that. You need to kind of really challenge that thinking and say, you know, are we ready to launch this? Do we really know that people are going to buy it? So that's hard. Oh, it's really important. It's really, I mean, starting just with a website and communicating everything online through, you know, emails and so on, but certainly when it comes to visitor marketing and communication, digital marketing and the whole digital world is hugely important. It's having a team of people within your company that understand it, from, you know, Facebook to Twitter, Instagram, etc., and really working quite closely on that. So it's very, very important. We launched a new art fair in London last year called Art 13, and when we launched it, it was a challenge to find out where the gap in the market was, because it was a high-end contemporary art fair. So at the highest end with art at several thousand to several hundred thousand, if not £1 million, so expensive pieces of art. And the challenge was to say, how can we make it different from the other art fair, but also how can we make it different from other art fairs around the world, so not just in the UK. And so we spent a lot of time researching that and thinking about it, and then came up with the idea that we should make it a global art fair, and taking the premise that London is a global capital, it's a massive city, but also accepting that it's a truly international city with lots of people, lots of different international people living in London, you know, Chinese, Indian, Russians, South Americans and so on, and creating an art fair where they could come and enjoy the art. But also we wanted to make it accessible, because some of the other art fairs are quite snooty, they perhaps don't make you feel relaxed when you go in there. So we wanted to make this have a nice relaxed feel, so that you can not feel that you had to be an art expert to come to it. And so we kind of put all that together, and then we set about trying to make it happen. It was very difficult to get lift off, to get the initial galleries in, but once we started, it was good. And then we worked really, really hard on the marketing, you know, because we said that we would deliver somewhere between 15 and 20,000 visitors. So we had to do a really good job, and we did everything we possibly could. So we ran a massive campaign in all the newspapers in London, on the backs of buses, in the tube advertising. We had a massive PR campaign. We created a big VIP program so we could attract VIP visitors, and then we did a massive, because the show was actually in Olympia, which is in West London. It's a very wealthy part of London with many, many properties worth over £1 million. So we made sure that any property worth over £1 million, which are a lot, had complimentary tickets through the door. So we had a big campaign to do that, and no stone was unturned in order to make sure that people were aware of the show. So we found that in the week or two leading up to it, everybody was aware of it, and then they started to come. We worked very hard to achieve that, and we ended up with 25,000 visitors who were really good visitors at different levels. They were the high-end collector, the wealthy individuals, and the people that just enjoyed going to see an art fair. Yes, I think it's a very interesting sector to understand. I think from two sides. One is maybe there's an opportunity to work in the sector because it's still a developing sector. I see good potential for it in the future. But even if you don't want to work in it, just having an understanding of how it works, because you might go and work in a business where they will at some stage take part in an event. There are very few jobs that you as a student will get involved in later life, where somewhere along the line an exhibition or an event doesn't come into your life, and the better understanding you have of it, the more it'll be productive for you or not. So I think it's a very interesting sector, and not a difficult sector to understand.